What is considered non-work time? Well, this is basically time that the employee is not engaged in work of any type. And I'll give you a perfect example. When an employee is away for bereavement, when they take pay time off, when they take a sick day, holidays, FMLA, or even when they take a unpaid day off. So in other words, if they're not engaged in work of any type, that's not considered work time. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that your restaurant is big enough to where you offer time off, where you give a person, 15 sick days a year, you give them 10 sick days a year, and you give them pay time off and they accrue pay time off. Well, let's just say in this instance that this employee was sick Wednesday and Thursday in the work week, so they took 2 8-hour days of sick day. But let's say they worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then they took Tuesday off because it wasn't a day that they were scheduled. Well, you need to be very careful with this because people tend to get confused when they add all the hours together and like, hold on a second. This person worked 52.20 hours. That's not true. 16 of it was actually non-work time. And guess what? When the person does not work that time, but you're paying them, it's not included in the overtime calculation of hours. So in other words, it's separated. So that 16 hours of sick is separated. So you don't have to pay overtime for this person. They physically worked 36.2 hours. So in other words, because that was less than 40 hours, you don't have to pay overtime. Now, in an instance, if this person worked 45 hours and they took 16 hours of sick pay, well, you have to pay 5 hours of overtime and the 40 hours that they work, and of course, the 16 hours of sick. That would be a different instance. But again, remember, non-working time is not considered included in the overtime calculation. It is not incorporated. So when a person takes bereavement, pay time off, sick time, if they take non or unpaid time off, that is not considered working time, and therefore you do not have to include it in overtime calculations.